Thank you, thank you. Thank you for having me. Good morning, bright fairy people at the Fairylight Convention. I'm delighted to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. My name is Daniela Simina. I am a yoga teacher. I practice bioenergetic healing, think Reiki, and various other modalities similar to this. I have been in a relationship with fairy and the world of fairies since very young, because my own grandmother, who was my first mentor on this fairy path, she was a medicine woman and a fairy seer. So she worked in partnership with fairies. And I'm writing. I have 2 books coming out this year. One is the first comparative study ever done in between Romanian and Irish fairy lore and traditions. So it is a side-by-side comparative study. The name of the book is Where Fairies Meet, Parallels Between Romanian and Irish Fairy Traditions. The second book will be out on December 8th, and it is a fairy path. It is autobiographic. The memoirs of a young fairy seer in training, that young fairy seer being myself. So that's all how I grew up, and my adventures and misadventures, trying to walk into my grandmother's footprints. The third book, I have just finished writing it and will be soon submitted for consideration to Moon Books, my publisher. And that is Fairy Herbs for Fairy Magic. So it's all fairies in all shapes and forms you can think of, and fairy partnership. What I would like to bring to you today is a very, very simple, by simple is not intended ineffective or super light. So I'd like to bring in a little bit of yoga tech, which from my own experience and that of my students does facilitate transcendence, and therefore primes the connection with the other world, with the fairy dimension. It makes it easier. So it works as a facilitator. Now, I'm aware that you already have this connection with the realm of fairy and with the fairy beings. So this may be just another tool, something else that you may want to consider to use in the future, or something that is going to be, just to clear the palette, to give you a sense of something maybe different than what you are usually accustomed to. Without any further ado, I would say just find a comfortable position, whatever fits your definition of comfortable, and come to breath. You can keep the eyes open, get visual input as of what to do and what to follow. So just come to breath. And for the time being, just notice how the body finds itself. What is the level of comfort of being in your body, inhabiting it right now? Bring the awareness to the inhale, and with each in-breath, begin to lengthen, to follow this ascending quality of the inhalation. Feel as if you'd be growing from the earth beneath, from the base of the spine toward the top of the head. Feel this ascending, upward moving quality of the inhale, lengthening your body, creating both space and length. Now shift the awareness to the exhales, and with each out breath, feel the shoulders softening, the face softening. And with each exhale, moving downward through the body, feel tension being released, flushed into the earth beneath. With each exhale, there is a deeper degree of softness permeating the physical form. reaching balance. Breathe in, ascending, lifting, opening, growing. Exhale, going deeper and softer within. Finding balance in between being engaged and being relaxed. Balance between in-breaths and out-breaths. Draw the awareness to your lower abdomen, like a couple of inches below the navel. And from there, pull your awareness deeper inward, like at the very core, at that cauldron, that is the pelvic bowl. Take the next in-breath. And then with the exhale, guide it at that center within your pelvic bowl, like depositing the breath and the energy it contains, depositing it there. Breathing in, gather. Breathe out, deposit the energy within that cauldron. Continue to breathe in and out, stoking that inner fire. With each inhale, gathering energy. With each exhale, feeding it to yourself, that sacred center. And you can visualize ambers glowing within that pelvic bowl. Think of the breath, particularly the exhale, like fanning those coals. They don't burst into flame, but there is heat, there's radiance, there's power being ignited. Next time you breathe in, hold the breath at the top of your inhale. Don't release it, not yet. As you will exhale, feel that breath shooting out through your palms and fingers. Whenever you want to exhale, do so. Release the power through your palms and fingers. Place one hand onto your forehead, the other hand just behind. Feel the energy bouncing in between the two hands, moving through your own head, through that third eye. So closing the eyes, invite the third eye to activate and fully open to the vision, to the sight of the other world. You may bring the hands down and keeping the eyes closed. Simply come to breath. Breathing now comfortable without any kind of pattern, without any lengthening, without anything. Just breathe. With each exhale, feel as if you'd be falling deeper within, in the space behind your closed eyelids. Breathe in lightness. Breathe out softness, surrendering. You're free falling. Breath after breath. falling in the vast space behind your closed eyelids. You're just a leaf, floating on the breeze, carried gentle to the earth. Your free fall slows down, and it slows down until you're coming to a full stop. You're now standing, and as you stand, you feel the solid ground beneath your feet. Although you can't see anything in the dense, milky fog that surrounds you. The fog is dense, impenetrable to sight, but pleasant and silky feeling to touch. You begin to set foot, one in front of the other. Step by step, you advance on a path that feels sturdy beneath your feet. You feel safe and confident, knowing that your instinct is your compass, and it takes you in the right direction. The fog begins to thin out, and you distinguish the shapes of large trees surrounding you. As you advance, the fog clears, and you begin to realize that you walk through a forest, more beautiful than any forest that you have ever seen. Observe. The trees are magnificent. Their branches weave a thick canopy right above you. You might hear birds singing. You may see or get a sense of animals swiftly crossing your path. But right now, you just keep walking. You can't afford to get distracted when you know you are about to meet your fairy ally in this liminal space between worlds. Ahead of you, the path is ending, and you can see a clearing with a very large stone at its center. From behind the stone, or maybe straight out of it, a silhouette emerges. It is someone who looks in your direction, clearly anticipating your arrival. As you draw near, you become increasingly more aware of details that you couldn't get from afar. You know this is your fairy guide. And now you take time to see how do they look like, how do they appear to you. You wave, and they wave back. With a spring in our step, you get closer, Cover the rest of the distance. And when you get in their proximity, you introduce yourself and explain what brings you here. Ask your fairy guide their name. You may get a name or you may not, at least not yet. Ask them, what do they recommend that you work with at this time? They may name an herb, a crystal. They may show you something. They will also tell you what the item is for. Maybe you need to work on some protection, maybe healing of sorts, maybe expanding a power that you're seeking to expand or needing to expand. Maybe they're suggesting something that you should or could offer to them. Just listen and watch. Ask your fairy guide what offerings would they enjoy to receive from you. Something that you can give as a token of appreciation once you return to consensus reality. If you hear anything you don't feel comfortable with, negotiate and agree upon something that is feasible for you and enjoyable for them. This may be like a one-time offering, or it may be something to be done on a regular basis. You begin to get the sense that the meeting reaches conclusion. So if there is any question, specific question you have for your fairy guide, this is the moment to ask it. Ask your fairy guide, which is the best communication channel for the future? They may easily appear in your dreams, speak to you through some form of divination or specific signs that could be an omen of their presence. They're saying yes or no to your requests or questions that you may have for them. Ask now, which is the best way for you to keep in touch? And just capture that first glimpse that reaches you. There's time to say goodbye. As you bid farewell, your guide bids farewell to you. Do not rush. You turn around and walk away. leaving the large stone behind you, knowing that you can return here whenever you wish. You move quickly and soon you step underneath the green canopy into the woods that you crossed before. The sun is setting. You see the shadows on the ground growing longer. It is getting dark. The path is barely discernible in the moonless night. And soon darkness engulfs everything completely. The path vanishes beneath your feet. You float. You float, riding the waves of your breath. With each exhale, landing more solidly into your physical body. With each inhale, becoming increasingly more aware of the form that you inhabit, of the physiology. Ongoing functions in the physical form. You feel your lungs expanding, your heartbeat. With each inhale, increasingly more aware. With each exhale, grounding deeper into here and now. Sense that you have returned fully. You're completely back. Stretch, wiggle, and begin to move. And welcome back. I wanted to allow enough time for us to talk. So if you have questions, here I am. I would suggest as quickly as possible, write down anything important, not anything important, everything that you can remember from your journey. We're going to do another yoga practice exercise to integrate the energy. And especially if you are being told by the fairy guide, by the being that you have just encountered. And let me say that encounters are not always visual. Not everybody's like super visual and watch the fairy guides evolving there like a hologram 3D in front of them. Information is oftentimes acquired by impressions. Sometimes there are images apparently disjoint that just flash in front of the eyes or somewhere in the back of the mind. Each of us has different channels for perceiving this kind of information. So in whichever way you have received it, that's valuable, that's valid. Let's do the integration part, and then jot down things while shooting questions at me. So for integration, eyes open or closed, come to breath again. Bring immediately the awareness to that place deep down within the pelvic bowl, the same focal point as before. As you breathe in, feel as you are gathering energy, prana, however you choose to call it, you're gathering that abundantly from surroundings. And with the exhale, deposit, make it sink in that cauldron the pelvic bowl represents. 2, maybe 3 more breaths. Stoke up the fire. Fan those embers, watching them glow. Feel the heat building. Next time you breathe in, hold the breath at the top of your inhale. Whenever you choose to exhale, you're going to once again release that breath through your palms and fingertips. Get the sense of your hands being activated. Pause and feel. You may notice tingling, warmth, or a light vibration in the palms or fingers. Brush yourself with your hands all over the front body. Start at the top of the head and then run the hands over your front body all the way toward the earth. And then do the same to the sides. Your hands probably won't reach all the way in the back. So visualize yourself from the back and do this kind of brushing gesture over your back body. You're cleansing your auric field. Imagine that you are combing silk and you want to make it as smooth as possible. You can come back and brush the front and the sides and the back. If there is any particular area in the body that begs for attention, brush some more that space. It may be the heart center. It may be an injury that you're nursing. So if there's any back pain, you can just get your hands behind and brush your back. Or you can work on the projection that you made of yourself, your own self-projected image. And you can brush your back. I'm sure you're familiar with the concept. Just a reminder here that the body tends to store energy in the most unexpected places. And in the aftermath of events, I'm referring to less pleasant ones, there is stagnation the body stores, and that may result in all kind of pain and discomfort. So go over the places that you feel that may be the case. They hold stagnation and potential energy causing pain, and give them the attention required. And now we're going to do a chakra alignment, and I'll give you my thought on chakras once we've done, so you will know why we're doing the way we do it. Bring the palms over the top of your head, so that would be like the crown chakra. And feel the energy from your own hands penetrating, coming inside your own head, balancing. Same as we did in the beginning, bring one hand toward the forehead and the other one right behind. The intention now is going to be to balance. So balancing vision, like the physical vision, eyesight, and the intuition, that ability to glimpse into things as they appear to us and understand their meanings that are not always obvious, evident. So vision and insight, may that be awakened and balanced. Bring the hands front and back, the throat, the neck, balancing the throat energetic center. Balancing the ability to speak the truth and speak it in a way that doesn't harm, in a way that's useful, productive. Bring the hands over the heart center and balance. Invite balance at that level, health-wise, emotionally. Bring your hands over the solar plexus, the upper abdomen, nurturing and nourishing those qualities associated traditionally with this area, that strong will and willpower and healthy kind of standing the ground without getting excessively fiery. So there's a matter of balance. Where in that balanced state, where the ego is a force that propels us forward, it's the motivation, is the ability to do things, desire to do things. But on the other hand, that does not become a substitute for soul, so to speak. Lower the hands onto the abdomen. You can at this point hold one hand of your front belly and place the other one right onto the sacrum, inviting balance in that area of the body, everything that's within the lower abdomen, all the organs there. It's very hard to be in a really good emotional, psychological balance in the absence of physiological balance. So we're trying to take care energetically, to take care of both the physiology and the psychology. So balancing that area, so important, so vital. And then finally, gather your hands and place them all the way down at the root of the body. And you can like sit on top of your hands or just hold the hands really low, as if you'd be your palms facing the perineum or facing the coccyx, the tailbone, and invite balance. And bring the hands in front of you like this. Imagine that you are holding a little ball, something like a, handball. With the eyes open or closed, visualize a bubble of light in between your palms. Feel that bubble of light growing. Ask your fairy guide to draw near and guide your hands into building this bubble of light into a shield that will keep you protected from any psychic attack, intended or unintended, psychic contamination, energetic contamination. Within this shield, the energy that you have built, developed through this practice will stay. Your shield is a perfectly closed container that will only allow true love and true friendship to penetrate. Everything else stays out. See this bubble of light growing like the size of a basketball. Notice what colors does it take. Notice how does it feel between your hands. And now bring it over your head as if you'd be putting a helmet on, like a motorcycle helmet. So put it over your head and begin to stretch it over your own body. Feel it wrapping itself around you. Soft, sweet, nurturing, comforting, protecting. Close it beneath your body so it engulfs you completely. Visualize its outer surface being reflective. It has the strength of diamond. And is reflective like the best polished among all mirrors in existence. Anything that is unwanted coming your way, it will be reflected back to the sender. And you intended, your intent, your will is key. You decide what exactly you want your shield to allow to reach you. And this is so. So you are balanced and shielded, and your guide participated actively in this process. Before going to the question part, I would like to quickly explain what have we done with the hands on the chakras. The notion of chakras has kind of flooded into everything we know and everything we practice, whatever form we practice. And you can think of it as esoterically as you want. I like to think of it particularly in terms of anatomy and physiology. So if you're going to look at where these traditionally known 7 chakras are located, you have one right here. Yes, we have one right here. Then it's the heart. Then is the solar plexus. So wherever these centers are located, these are major conglomerates of nerves and nerves plexuses. This is clear. It's the brain. So it is related to the nervous system. The heart, we have the cardiac plexus of nerves and the brachial plexuses of nerves right here. Solar plexus, you're aware that a blow, or if you poke hardly into your solar plexus, it hurts terribly. We all know it's enough to look into any 7th grade biology book, and you see that in this area, the stomach, the digestive system, is very, very rich in nerves. Have you ever had the misfortune to hit your sacrum or hurt your sacrum or your tailbone, the coccyx? You know how terribly painful that is, because those areas are very rich in nerve endings. So without going any further into more details about the names and how all those nervous structures are known, suffice to say, in touching on the chakras, so-called chakras, top to bottom, we basically balance energetically our entire nervous system. So area by area. So what we're doing, it's not only, you energize and then you recirculate that energy. So what we're doing is not only a nice practice, it is also grounded, connected to anatomy and physiology. So it does affect our health and our well-being. Having the fairy guide, the fairy partner, fully participating into this. So you notice we had like different tidbits, different components that you can use independently. You don't have to go through run the whole gamut every single time you want to do self-energizing. It is enough to close the eyes, breathe in, gather the breath in your lower abdomen, and then breathe it out through your hands. Place the hands wherever you need on your body, energizing and balancing right there. You don't even have to remember where each chakra is located. Let the hands run intuitively over your body. You can cover more area, more surface than what we have just discussed. As far as connecting with your fairy ally, just the bullet points, the very broad strokes of it. You breathe, move inwardly. And if you like the scenario that I presented, that you're in a mist, you open the eyes, you're in a forest, and then you walk until you meet your guide. Talk to them, turn around, come out. You can follow this, or you can adapt to anything that is resonant with you. That's your own call. Communication. In your journey, you were invited to ask your fairy guides in which way do they want to communicate. This is a very important one, so write it down. You can keep in touch. In case you know this, just take it as a reminder. If you don't know, very glad that I can contribute something. So I know people who connect with fairies and fairy guides in dreams. So they go to bed and they kind of pre-program themselves to encounter and meet and talk. This honestly never works for me. I mean, they come and talk when they come and talk, when they want to come and talk, and not necessarily so much when I program myself to dream and, connect in dreams. However, I do communicate with my fairy allies very well through runes. So I like reading runes. I like reading like a host of things, but runes tend to be my favorite for especially fairy elves communication. And also nature, omens, things that happen around me. I want to offer here that not everything that happens around is an omen. Sometimes a hawk landing on my fence, it's a hawk that lands on my fence, There's nothing extraordinary about it because I have hawks nesting in my backyard. So they got to land somewhere. They may come on my fence. However, when I saw, you know, you might be aware that hawks and crows don't get together, don't get along. So when I saw a hawk sitting on my railway, the porch banister, flanked by two crows, and they were like in perfect harmony, that was out of the ordinary. And it so happened that I was thinking of something, so I took that as an omen, as an indication that what I was somehow related to what I was inquiring about. So this is kind of super broad strokes of fairy connection.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Today.
That was a pleasure.
If there's nothing else, then we will bid you adieu for the day and continue on with our scheduling. You can find Daniela's information and links and everywhere on our website. So please go check her out, and her book, which is available on Amazon.
It's in Barnes and Noble too right now. Bye.